Hello, welcome to the morning edition of MBC News, and you are with me, Evelis Jingambi. Coming up this morning, Vice President Dr. Jane Ansah assures Malawians that government is committed to ensuring that no one starves. Preparations for this year's MBC's Ogunda Mai Majeza annual gathering are on course as 450 women are set to attend the event in Malawi today. And in sports, French national Yvon Avery unveiled as new technical director for the country's football association. Thank you for joining us. Now the news in detail. Government has assured Malawians that it is committed to ensuring that no Malawian starves. Vice President Dr. Jane Ansah made the remarks at Kavitowe Primary School ground in Zimba after presiding over the launch of the lean season food insecurity response program for the northern region. Chisomo Manda reports.
The lean season food insecurity response program, implemented under the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA, follows the Malawi Vulnerability Assessment Committee MVAC report that shows that at least 4 million Malawians in the country are food insecure. In her speech, the Vice President began by thanking President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika for entrusting her office with the responsibility of overseeing the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA. She then advised the district councils and officials responsible for compiling beneficiary lists to ensure inclusion of people with disabilities, child-headed households, the elderly, and other vulnerable groups.
It is our belief and desire that only those that need help will be included without any favor. So we just believe that they will do what is right.
Beneficiaries in Mzimba expressed gratitude after receiving maize and cash support, with many thanking the president for what they described as fatherly gesture.
Isatiliwa kuonga kwa president wetu Peter Mutharika. Shukatina njala mmizi umu kwensono watu ovwira tela kuonga shomeni tikadandaulanga natafuma kutai na masuzo kwensono tivenge makola shukwa cha president wetu yeo shomeni.
Masugo yakawaya nandi kwemono pano antipisa kupa masugo yani mnyumba mwani. Nati nguonga shomeni wapitirire. Bangarekanga sha.
Jingoma chinivwirenge banjara na munelili na njara na chira nirienge mwakukondwa. Na dandaulanga banjara sono na mnapokera vingoma vanuvira chomene nguonga njara nayo yamara.
In his remarks, World Food Program Country Representative Young John Lim emphasized the need for strong collaboration among all stakeholders to end hunger in the country. He added that WFP will support 1.9 million people during the lean season. Taking his turn, Nkosiyama Kosimbelwa V of Mzimba urged the beneficiaries to use the items for the intended purpose.
What we usually see when such relief items come, there are vendors that are already willing to buy, to entice the beneficiaries so that they can buy them and then sell them at a higher price. So I was imploring with the VP through her office to help us arrange the security agents so that they're always there when they're distributing, and we see the intended purpose of this initiative.
About 4 million people are expected to benefit from the ongoing food and cash distribution exercise across the country. Meanwhile, President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika has extended the state of disaster declaration to all the 28 districts in the country. Chisomo Manda, MBC News, Mzimba.
Meanwhile, government has expressed appreciation for the support the financial sector has rendered towards the 2025-2026 lean season food insecurity response program. Minister of Finance Joseph Mwanamveka made the sentiments in Lilongwe when he received 200 million kwacha from Standard Bank. Mwanamveka said, as highlighted in the National Response Plan developed through the National Rather, the Department of Disaster Management Affairs, DODMA, Malawi faces recurring climate-induced shocks. Tumodzi reports.
According to the Minister of Finance, Economic Planning and Decentralization, Joseph Mwanamveka, this year alone, over 4 million Malawians are food insecure, prompting the declaration of a state of disaster on the 25th of October 2025. He says the response plan, covering all 28 districts and 4 cities, requires 209.4 billion Malawi kwacha to ensure that vulnerable households receive life-saving food assistance and cash transfers. Mwanamveka adds that while government has taken decisive steps, it recognizes that no single institution can meet this humanitarian challenge alone, hence commending the support from Standard Bank.
For me, it's a word of thanks to the bank, the board and management of Standard Bank for this welcome gesture, for the support we have received today of a check of 200 million, which will go towards the purchase of food for the vulnerable Malawians. So as government, we are quite happy, and we are pleased that the private sector also is involved in alleviating the hunger that is there.
Head of Personal and Private Banking at Standard Bank, Charity Moore, says the contribution reflects the bank's commitment to corporate citizenship and reaffirms its resolve to collaborate in building a more resilient and food-secure nation.
As Standard Bank, when we got a call through the annunciation by the state president that there is a national state of disaster pertaining to hunger, we immediately decided to be part of the solution. So we responded because we believe that as a bank we are not here just to do business, but also to be a partner for growth and whatever matters to Malawians.
The donation adds to the growing private sector response to the food crisis, underscoring broad confidence in President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika's economic and humanitarian agenda. Tumodzi, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Minister of Foreign Affairs George Chaponda has hailed the Republic of South Korea for its continued support to Malawi. More in this report by Mike Kalumbi.
Speaking during the celebration marking 60 years of diplomatic relations between Malawi and South Korea, Chaponda said the people of South Korea have remained reliable partners in Malawi development efforts, particularly in the areas of health, agriculture, education, and social development, among others. The minister reaffirmed Malawi's commitment to strengthening and sustaining the existing ties with South Korea.
We are mindful of the benefits that Malawi has gained from this relationship. They have been of great help to us in the field of education, in the field of health, capacity building, training, and even scholarships. Some people have gone to Korea to learn. And on top of that, they have been promoting capacity building in terms of in the field of agriculture. They have given us agriculture equipment, technology.
South Korean Ambassador to Malawi, Park Jae-kyung, said his country will continue supporting Malawi in areas such as agriculture, health, technology, youth empowerment, and energy.
Health sectors I mentioned, Daeang Look Hospital. Through Daeang Look Hospital, we'll continue our support for contributing the better access for the people of Malawi to the quality medical programs here. And then what I would like to highlight is the youth empowerment. I just talked with the Honorable Minister of Youth here. Definitely we'll try to make a new initial program among the 4 directions that I mentioned. This youth empowerment may be one of the new projects that we would like to embark on.
Malawi has maintained diplomatic relations with South Korea for 60 years, and the country has benefited from this partnership through various developments in sectors such as health, education, and agriculture. Mike Kalumbi, MBC News, Lilongwe.
Deputy Leader of the August House, Shadrack Namalomba, has applauded members of Parliament for demonstrating unity and focus during this week's deliberations. Namalomba spoke to MBC shortly after the House adjourned to next week. In this week's discussions, the House discussed pertinent issues, including delivery of ministerial statements. Details in this report by Jinsisi Moyo.
Parliament resumed on Monday with the Minister of Agriculture, Irrigation and Water Development, Rosa Fachimbilizi, presenting a statement on the progress of maize distribution, the Farm Input Subsidy Program and the Mega Farms Initiative. Later, the Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Ben Piri, urged MPs to begin drafting project plans for their constituencies. This follows the increase of the Constituency Development Fund CDF from 200 million kwacha to 5 billion kwacha per year, effective April 2026. On Tuesday, Minister of Justice Charles Mahango informed Parliament that he is reviewing 3 reports on the Ntungwa accident of June 10, 2024, which claimed 8 lives, including former Vice President Dr. Saulos Chilima. On Wednesday, Minister of Transport and Public Works Feston Kaupa announced that the government will shift the haulage of bulk cargo from roads to rail and inland waterways in order to preserve the country's road infrastructure. One of the major highlights this week was the overwhelming support shown by legislators, which led to the confirmation of Richard Luhanga as the new Inspector General of Police following his appointment by President Professor Arthur Peter Mutharika on October 6. Deputy Leader of the House, Shadrack Namalomba, says this spirit of cooperation shows Parliament's commitment to serving Malawians.
From the government side, it has been a very good week. We are just hopeful that this spirit, as you saw also today, members, we had to forego our health break. We hope that this spirit of hard working, making sure that we attend to the business, is also going to continue in the weeks that will come. Next week, we shall continue with the debate on the president address. We are hoping, and this is definite, on Tuesday we are going to wind up debate, and so that to allow members on Wednesday, to allow government to bring in new business on Wednesday. On Thursday, it's going to be a private members' day. On Friday, the Minister of Finance will come in to make a presentation to make a statement on the budget review.
Speaker of Parliament, Samir Gafar Suleiman, has adjourned the House to Monday afternoon. Kinsisi Moyo, MBC News, Parliament Building, Lilongwe.
The Malawi Electoral Commission (MEC) has officially handed over the Southern Region polling records of the just ended September 16 general election to Parliament. The handover marks the symbolic close of the 2025 electoral process. Ruth Chinangwa reports.
MEC Commissioner Harry Kanjewe said the exercise is in accordance with the Presidential, Parliamentary and Local Government Elections Act. The records will be kept for up to 4 months to serve as evidence in any electoral cases and for future reference.
We're just handing over all the documents, including the ballot boxes, the ballot papers inside, the sealed ballot boxes, all the records of polling to the Parliament so that they can be kept safe, or in other words, we call it archiving. It is by law that after the polls are done, we have to hand it over to Parliament for safekeeping, while at the same time it can be used if there is any litigation that has to be taken.
Chief Administrative Officer for Parliament, Fane Posha Siwande, reaffirmed the institution's commitment to preserving the records for the required period.
For us, it's an occasion. It's a very important activity because we are fulfilling what the law requires us to fulfill. That's Section 120 of the Presidential, Parliamentary and Local Government Act, which states that after every election, be it a tripartite election, general election or a by-election, the Clerk of Parliament is supposed to be handed over all records that have been made through that election for her safekeeping or his safekeeping up until the required period, and then they are disposed of.
Similar handovers have also been made in the northern and central regions. Ruth Chinangwa, NBC News, Blantyre.
This is NBC News and you are with me, Evelis Chingambi. A reminder of the top stories. Vice President Dr. Jane Ansah assures Malawians that government is committed to ensuring that no one starves. Preparations for this year's MBC's Okunda Majeza annual gathering are on course as 450 women are set to attend the event in Malawi today. And in sports, French national Yvonne Avery unveiled as new technical director for the country's football association. Welcome back. 450 women from across the country are expected to attend this year's Embassy's Okondamai Macheza annual gathering, which will be held today at Bingu International Convention Center, BICC, in Lilongwe. Malawi Broadcasting Corporation Public Relations Manager Chisomo Mamadi says preparations for the event are on course. Margaret Mabando reports.
It was a joyous moment when women from across the country arrived in Lilongwe, where the MBC's Zokondamai Macheza celebrations are expected to take place. About 450 women from different districts across the country have gathered in the city, awaiting their annual gathering. MBC's Public Relations Manager, Chisomo Mamadi, says preparations for the main event, scheduled for the 15th November, are going well. He says MBC gives women a platform to share different developments and activities they're undertaking in their respective areas. He adds that the women are doing well in different aspects of life, including business and agriculture.
So far so good. The preparations are going on very well. As you can see, we're here at the venue, BICC, just making sure that everything is set for Saturday, the 15th of November. And we are excited as MBC to host the First Lady, Professor Gertrude Mutarika, to this function, which will have more than 450 women from across the regions of Malawi. And of course, the corporate world is also here. So we're happy to host this. We know we changed the dates from the 15th of October due to circumstances beyond our control, but finally here we are, the 15th of November, and we can't wait to host the women here.
Upon arrival, MBC interacted with leaders from various women's groups to share their achievements and excitement about this year's gathering.
I've benefited a lot from Zokondamai. We have made good relationships with various women across the country, and we have also taught each other business.
We are learning a lot of things. It's better than just staying at home, but we're learning different things like self-care. As women, we should unite from Sanje to Chitipa so that we develop our country together.
I have benefited from Zokondamai. I've achieved good things, knowledge, how I conduct myself, taking care of my family, as well as self-care.
We have benefited and we have also known different places in the country. Right now, we are very happy, even if MBC says we should conduct these celebrations outside the country. We are ready to go.
Zokondamai Macheza is an event organized by the national broadcaster and draws participation of various women groups from different districts in the country to celebrate Mother's Day. The celebrations are usually held on 15 October annually, but this year the event will be held on 15 November. Margaret Mabando, MBC News, Lilongwe.
High Court Judge Howard Bemba has granted an injunction restraining the Malawi Police Service from making any further arrests on 11 suspects accused of disrupting peaceful demonstrations by civil servants in Lilongwe earlier this year. Confirming the development to embassy, defense lawyer George Katsipatike said the injunction means all the suspects will be released immediately and no rearrest will be made. He said if there are any new matters to be addressed, the suspects will instead be served with court summons. The court will continue hearing the case on 19 January next year. Moving on to our next story, Indian High Commissioner to Malawi, Amararam Gujar, has commended Paramount Holdings Limited and group of companies for diversifying their operations and aligning them to the agriculture, tourism, mining and manufacturing ATMM strategy. He has since reaffirmed the availability of Malawi farm produce markets in India. Gujar made the remarks in Lilongwe after touring Paramount Holdings Limited and group of companies. Lonjezo Sodoka has forwarded us this report, being read by Emmanuel Chukonso.
The Indian High Commissioner to Malawi, Amararam Gujar, started touring Lilongwe Plastic Packaging Limited, LPPL, manufacturers of farm produce storage bags. He further proceeded to Paramount Holdings Limited and Sun God Food Processing Company. The purpose of the tour was to appreciate the operations of the companies. Speaking after the tour, the High Commissioner said India is committed to strengthening the partnership between the two countries in fields such as agriculture and manufacturing. He has since assured farmers of availability of markets in India for various crops grown in Malawi. Gujar also commended the companies for aligning their operations with Malawi's development goals of promoting agriculture and manufacturing.
They are perfectly doing a very good work in Malawi government's vision ATMM, agriculture, tourism, manufacturing and minerals, so that in at least two sectors they are doing a very direct contribution, which is the agriculture and the second one the manufacturing. So that which we have seen the Lilongwe plastic packaging, so that you can consider it as a manufacturing. And agriculture, of course, they are doing a lot of activity in agriculture also. So that I think is they are making a very positive contribution in government of Malawi's ATMM strategy.
Managing Director of Paramount Holdings Limited, Prakash Gedia, said the company is working with the government of Malawi in various sectors such as agriculture and construction. He said they export 30 to 40,000 tons per year of crops such as pigeon peas that attract forex to the country.
Export is working nicely. As a Paramount Holdings, we are the supporting sesame farmers. I think you know the sesame, that small white things, which is coming from Chikwawa area, and we exported a lot. Second things, we are also exporting pigeon peas, Nandolo, which is also one of the best Nandolos in Malawi. Even India is producing a lot of Nandolos, but our quality and size of Nandolos is something different.
Malawi-India relations have been long-standing, and the two countries have benefited from each other in areas such as health, education, agriculture and trade.
Councillor for Bangwe Ntopa Ward, Isaac Jomo Osman, is the new mayor of Blantyre City after defeating fellow Democratic Progressive Party DPP councillors in the mayoral polls that were held on Friday at civic offices in the city. He will be deputized by DPP councillor for Limbe Chiwembe Ward, Gerald Lipigwe. Both will serve a 2.5-year term in office. Charles Chindongo has more in this report, being read by Aman Musa.
Isaac Jomo Osman has been elected as a new mayor for the commercial city. Osman has outclassed fellow Democratic Progressive Party DPP councillors, namely Eric Mofolo of Mapanga Mzedi Ward and former mayor Joseph Makwinja, while Gerald Lipigwe has been elected as a deputy mayor. In his acceptance speech, Osman promised to crack down on street-connected children and ban street vending, which are primary concerns of the city's residents.
My vision is to make Blantyre be a better place again, because a lot of people are complaining about Blantyre. The way it was and the way it is today, there's a big difference. So we want to try our best to make it to to make it be a better seat again. We'll try to sit down with the vendors committees and find the ways. It's not just wake up today and starting chasing them. No, we need to find places where we're going to put them. We need to call them and have a meeting and asking them the question, and whatever they're going to tell us, we are going to get that one and work on it.
Chief Executive Officer for Blantyre City Council, Dennis Chinseu, said the council is ready to offer support to the new leadership of the commercial city to realize their aspirations during their term of office.
We can't work in isolation. Secretariat and the political arm have to work hand in hand. Be assured that our priority has always been teamwork. And if you have to go by the speech by the mayor, he also emphasized on teamwork. So I want to assure residents of the city of Blantyre that as Secretariat, we are going to offer all the support, and people for sure are going to see a different Blantyre simply because as Secretariat, we are ready to support the vision that the new mayor is going to give us to implement.
Osman is a former street-connected child, and he's also a councillor for Bangwentopa ward.
Preparations for this year's Gonapamhanya celebrations to be held at Kadumuliro Cultural Site at Bolero in Rumpi today have reached the final stages. Speaking during one of the final meetings, chairperson for the main organizing committee, Jean Chilinda Kumwenda, described the function as a unifying factor among the Tumbukas. More in this report by Grant Mahango.
The Tumbukas of Chikulamayembe, in company of other tribes, including the Ngonis from Malawi and beyond, commemorate the Gonapamhanya cultural celebrations in honor of their forefathers annually. Speaking at Kadumuliro Cultural Site at Bolero in Rumpi, National Organizing Chairperson Jean Chilinda Kumwenda called upon the corporate world to continue supporting the event for its success. According to Chilinda, this year's event will be presided over by the second Vice President, the Right Honorable Enoch Kamzingen Chihana, who will also lay a wreath at the tomb of Gonapamhanya 1 at a function to be held at Mpande Hills in the district. Under the theme Culture and Integrity, the backbone of development, the 2025 Gonapamhanya celebrations will also be attended by delegates from neighboring Zambia. Grant Mhango, MBC News, Rumpi.
And in sports, the new Football Association of Malawi Farm Technical Director, Ivo Avery, says his vast experience in African football will help him develop the game in the country. Speaking at his unveiling ceremony at Mpira Village in Blantyre, the French national said he has worked in African countries for 20 years.
The calendar that Avery is going to use now is the calendar which was already been approved by the EXCO and approved budgets by the affiliates, or I should say the assembly. So Avery, I can say that he's going to draft his program, which is aligning to our strategic planning, and we are going to make sure that within his program, if it is indeed talking to our strategy. Don't forget, in our strategy we have got goals. So whatever Avery is going to draft will be within our strategy, and from that path we are going to give you what is it that we want to achieve in the next 2 years, starting with 2026, moving forward. As we speak now, we do expect Avery to make sure that the programs that were there, for example, we're talking of coaching programs, to make sure that we proceed with that program. We have got CAF C that is supposed to come. We haven't yet completed CAF B. We have got other programs like, I've talked about the CAF A manual, we've talked about football philosophy. We talk about Luinga project, which is there for 2 years, and maybe more. There are more of the programs that are already in the pipeline that we believe Avery is going to proceed with them. But come next year, we are going to come back to you and tell you what exact programs that are indeed put on Avery's desk.
I will bring my experience of football on Africa and technical expertise, especially to build the foundation of a strong football in the future. I'm sure that if we are doing good programs starting for the grassroots, boys and girls, we arrive to achieve a lot of things. What is important for the football is not to start at higher level, is to start at the base. And the foundation are the strong. Football is like education. You don't go directly to high school, you have to go to primary school, etc. So that's the same for football. You need to develop a strong base of good footballers to have later strong footballers at higher level. That's what expected is that to prepare the future.
And that's it from our newsroom this morning. A recap of our top stories before we leave. Vice President Dr. Jane Ansah assures Malawians that government is committed to ensuring that no one starves. Preparations for this year's MBC's Zachitika Majeza annual gathering are on course as 450 women are set to attend the event in Lilongwe today. And in sports, French national Yvon Avery unveiled as new technical director for the country's football association. You can keep up to date with our news by visiting our Facebook page, Embassy Digital. You have been with me, Evelis Chingambe. Thanks for watching and good morning.
Morning to you all. It's time for weather update. Thunderstorms and rains are expected to persist over most areas. This is all due to the moisture we are getting from the Indian Ocean into our country. Therefore, this morning, mild conditions are expected over most areas. Like in Zuzu, we experience a minimum of 18 degrees Celsius, while Lilongwe 20 degrees Celsius. Warm conditions over Ngabu with 24 degrees Celsius. We should also expect cloudy conditions with scattered thunderstorms and rains over the lakeshore areas, northern areas, central areas, and some few areas in the southern part of the country. In the afternoon, warm conditions are expected over Lilongwe with a maximum of 28 degrees Celsius and in Zuzu 27 degrees Celsius, while hot conditions over Ngabu and Karonga. We should also expect windy and cloudy conditions with scattered thunderstorms and rains over the southern part of Malawi and localized rains over the central part and northern part of the country. Thanks for watching. I'm Charity Mapondo. Be wise, be weather wise.